This one was supposed to be easy. I already knew the printer, I already knew the platform, the H2D. But the second the upgrade parts arrived, I knew I'd underestimated this. This isn't an upgrade, it's a teardown, a rebuild. And that leads us right here. The H2D to H2C conversion, you guys voted on it, we're delivering it. I'm Aaron, this is the Printasaurus. Today I'm gonna walk you through all the hidden surprises, the oh no moments, the oh crap moments. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know so you can do it at home with no problems. So let's get to it. What is up, everyone? It is time to do that H2D to H2C conversion. You guys asked for it, so I went ahead and did it. I have mine pretty much complete, so I'm gonna walk you through everything you need to know so that you at home can make this as easy as possible. So the first thing that I'm gonna tell you here is you have to be prepared to this install. It is a significant change. You are removing components, you're swapping things out. It is not an upgrade, it is a replacement. So what you want to do is jump on and get familiar with the Bambu Wiki, the instructions, read through them, go over them once or twice. That way you are prepared. The instructions are really good. I did not have any issues running through them to do this install, but there were some surprises. So we'll talk about those a bit later. Let's talk about some of the things that I want to recommend that you have. So I mentioned the Bambu Wiki and the instructions. The best way to have those available is by a tablet or a laptop or something that you can have beside you while you're going through the printer. It just helps pay attention to detail. Another thing that I cannot stress enough is you have a 3D printer. I have a link down below to the one that I printed, but print a tray of some sort so that you can keep all of the screws that you're going to take off of this thing organized. It is only going to help you, I promise. Another tool that would be beneficial to have, a scraper. You'll need some snips. There are a couple of zip ties, so you'll need those. And something that I found really beneficial too is I went on Amazon and I bought one of these electric screwdriver kits. I am not partial to this one. Buy any one that you want, but having an electric screwdriver kit and having various magnetic tipped bits will save you a ton of headache. So that's what I recommend to get started. So before you actually get started with the install, what I want you to do is make sure you register your AP board. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use it when it's time to get that installed. So you'll take a picture of the QR code, you will send in your serial number, you open the support ticket. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't have any issues, and it's about 24-hour turnaround time to activation. But make sure you get that activated. That way you're not waiting when it's installed and you can't register your printer. It's also recommended that you go ahead and update your printer to the latest firmware before you do your install. So take a look at what version you're on, see if there's any updates available, and update your printer. Now it's time to move on. So instruction-wise, there are parts A and B. So A does the bed, talks about removal of the panels, the back panel, and also the tool head. And then part B is where we actually install that Vortex system. So let's start with part A. There are roughly 23, 24 screws in the back. So to get that back panel removed, in your instructions, again, I can't stress this enough, I can't say it enough, they're really good. The instructions are good. You're not gonna have any problems with them. So take your time, use that printed tray and remove that back panel. It comes off, it will slide up and out of place, and then set that aside so that it doesn't fall over. This video today is brought to you by PCBWay, PCBWay.com. Jump online, check them out. If you've got a large project, PCBWay might be the answer. 3D printing, CNCing, PCBs. Link is in the description. It is time to remove the side panel. 2 screws, upper left and right hand corner, and then you have some screws here on the front. You have 2 screws as well. That's where that scraper comes in handy. So the seal where the screws are, you can use the scraper to kind of peel back, and that'll keep you from like tearing the seal and everything that's on there. Once you get that free, it is relatively simple. Just grab the upper left and right hand corner, slightly pull back, and you should be able to lift that panel up and out of place. There is a sensor connected to it, so don't rip it out of the way. Pay attention, the sensor's at the bottom of the glass. Just make sure you disconnect that before you completely remove your panel. So after you get your back panel off, you are going to remove your bed. This is the H2D bed. I've already removed mine, and we installed our H2C bed. The instructions are great for this too. Take your time with removing the wires from the boards here in the back. And once you have those out, it's really just removing 6 screws from your bed, taking your status bar off the front, and then once you have your bed free, you can start pulling these wires out. And we can pull this thing completely out of the printer and set it aside. I would say throw it, but it is kind of heavy, so don't do that. My only tip for the bed install really is you've got this wiring harness that's going to feed through in the back where the back of the bed mounts. And the easiest way to get this fed through is just do one wire at a time. It's going to give you enough clearance, enough space that you'll be able to fish all these through. And if you try and shove them all in at once, it really doesn't work out too well. So that's really the biggest tip. So once you have that done, I had a surprise. So when we get to the point where we are connecting up our bed, the H2D that I have here has 2 wires that plug into what's called the AC board. Our new bed has 3 wires. And lo and behold, in the instructions is a nice big pink warning that says, hey, if you have a bed that has more than 2 wires, for example, if you have 3 wires, you need to open a support ticket. And we need to send you the right AC board. So that's like a full stop kind of moment, because now we can't finish our install, or can we? So here's what I did. I opened my ticket. It took 24 hours for them to respond. I sent my address and everything, and they are sending me a new AC board that is going to work with this bed. I really thought about stopping the video and waiting, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to move on to this guy. So this guy right here is the H2D Toolhead. There aren't too many surprises with getting this removed. I do have a couple of tips, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So as far as tips go to get this thing removed, they give you a tool. Up top, you're going to poke some holes in the little rubber seal or the felt seal for your glass, and that's going to allow you access to a screw that is on top of like the gantry sides here. And you'll be able to remove that, no problems. That's pretty easy. This is where that magnetic screwdriver really comes in, because on the back here, there are 2 screws and they're kind of hard to get to, and I ended up dropping them. And then I was like, whoa, I have an electric screwdriver. Why am I not using that? And it's magnetic. So make sure you use that magnetic screwdriver. But we're able to get this free, and then there's 1 more screw on the back. So there's 8 screws total to get this free. So now we're skipping around a little bit with those instructions, but I'm just, I'm talking about my experience here. So getting this free, it's a USB-C cable, and it connects to that AP board that we're going to replace in a little while. So to remove the plastic for that, it's really straightforward. Not going to have any issues there. And then what you have to do on the back side of the printer is remove the filament buffer. So that's 4 screws. It sits out of place, no problems. And then you just unplug this and snake it through. And then you've got this pigtail here with 2 additional connections. They have clips, very easy. And then you'll be able to pull this off and set it aside. Installation is exactly the reverse order. No big surprises again. You're going to put it in an angle, put it in place. Start with the top 2 screws is what I recommend. Don't get them overly tight yet. Make sure you get everything threaded first, and that way you don't worry about cross-threading anything or messing up any screws. Very nice. I know this thing feels intimidating because it is a lot of parts and everything, but once you get going, it's really not that bad. Just keep that confidence going with you. You're not going to have any issues. If you have questions along the way, put those down in the comments. That's why I'm doing this video. So after we get our toolhead installed, it's time to move to that AP board that we got registered, but that's just 4 screws. So pretty easy to get that removed. Be very careful though. There is a little black cable. It is the radio cable for the Wi-Fi. It's small, it can be fragile. I've broken them on other boards before. So take your time removing that, drop the other cables. Everything's well labeled in the instructions, and it tells you exactly where they go. You can't really put them in different places to mix them up. They only fit in one spot. Pay attention to that Wi-Fi cable. You'll install it in the reverse order, 4 screws, plug in that Wi-Fi cable first. It's the easiest way to do it. And then you can plug in your new toolhead cable as well. Make sure the A on the cable is facing you. All right, so part B is where we install the Vortex system. This is actually really easy, and it's very straightforward because we have the whole panel off. We're essentially just mounting some brackets, mounting the Vortex system in place, and then hooking it up. And it's not overcomplicated, and it is pretty simple. There are no surprises really to report whatsoever there. Your instructions are good. Again, I've said it like 100 times so far. Really happy they are good. It is nice to have some good instructions, but you're not going to have any issues with this part. All right, so it's time to conclude this video. Drop comments, everything down below, questions as you go through yours. Again, this is a platform for me to help you get through your build since I've already done it. And if you have questions, ask them. We're going to answer them. As far as the instructions, everything go, I think Bambu did a great job. So A+ on instructions, pictures, everything's good. They even have a video that kind of runs through everything. It's not bad. It's going to get you through. This is a pretty significant upgrade, so it can seem very intimidating. Just take a breath, take your time, watch my video, ask questions, watch their video, look at the instructions, and we will get through it, I promise. Really appreciate you guys. Can't do this without you. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully some of this was helpful today. See ya.